2. Hello, everybody. We are back once again. Already got people in the room. What's up, Quan? What's up, Gene Hansen? Rock Dog. Thank you for joining us. Let's see what we got going on here. All right. We're going to get into some golf cart issues today, I'm sure. 𝗪𝘃𝘁𝗍, how you doing? 𝗪𝘃𝘁𝗍. Thank y'all for showing up, man. I appreciate it. Let's see. I'm sure everybody knows what we do here. We come here twice a week. We talk about golf cart issues. I am Tim. I work for Golf Cart Garage. Go to 𝗪𝗂𝘁𝗿𝗀.com for all your golf cart parts needs. You can even use a coupon code, which I'll be showing here in a little bit. I guess I can go ahead and show it now. If you want to use a coupon code at Golf Cart Garage, you can get 5% off of any order you place at 𝗪𝗂𝘁𝗿𝗀.com by using this coupon code, which is TIM11, TIM11. This expires June the 26th. So get all your golf cart parts from Golf Cart Garage. Rock Dog, I did get your message. I'm sorry I haven't answered the email or responded to it, but I did get your message. So I appreciate you sending me that info. It's I think that's very similar what you told me that you did. That must be something similar to what people are doing that are just putting that 𝗪𝗲𝗃 in there, because I said something about it last time. I mean, if you go to YouTube and you see people that are putting a 𝗪𝗃𝗃, and that's all they're doing to their RXV, they're getting some speeds like what you're talking about. And I just thought that was very unusual. So apparently the 𝗪𝗃𝗃 is, you can do the same thing with that apparently, or close to it, you know, because I've heard people talking about 27, 28 miles an hour. And, you know, that's getting close to what you were saying. Let's see. You want to follow us on some platform besides Facebook and YouTube, which you can follow us on Facebook and YouTube also, but you can also follow us on any of these other platforms that I'm running right now, TikTok and everything. Ricky Smith, what's up? Ricky Smith is in the room. Let's see, this is Tuesday, June the 6th. We're live right now, Facebook and YouTube, we are live. So if you are watching me on Tuesday, June the 6th at 12 noon Central Time, then I am live. Anything can happen. Okay, we're going to go over some regular questions. I'm sure there'll be some questions in the chat as we go along, so let's go ahead and get started. The garage is now open, so let's get started. Having some lunch. It's a beautiful day. Cash and I are having some lunch. It's a beautiful day here in Illinois. It's beautiful here too, Craig. It's got some warm weather moving in. Got some. We're in the mid 80s. Been in the mid 80s consistently. It's water temperatures getting a little higher. Oh, Quan, did I say what's up, Quan? I don't remember if I acknowledged you or not. I spoke with Quan yesterday, by the way. Quan got a view into part of my secret life that I lead away from Golf Cart Garage, because on Mondays you never know where I'm going to be. So Quan got to see a little bit of that. Had a nice conversation with him. Let's see. Okay, let's get started here. Question number 1 from Scott. Have an EZGO 36-volt electric cart. It's a 2002 model. It seems to be losing charge quickly. It has new batteries, 3 months old, per the seller. I purchased it and used it, and I could drive for a good distance when I first got it. However, within a week or two, it seems like it's not holding a charge. I can drive forward, and when I go back or up a slight hill, it runs out of charge, and I have to push it with one leg to get it to move. After that, it seems to low on charge and cannot go only 50 to 100 feet before it dies. What could the issue be? The batteries look new, but no date was punched out. Well, if you're uncomfortable with some of the things that we've talked about here, I mean, I've talked about how to do a field load test with a voltmeter, you know, by hooking your batteries hooking your voltmeter leads to one battery and taking off and climbing a hill and watching the voltage. And if you're uncomfortable with any of that and you're unsure about your batteries, the easiest way to be completely 100% sure about your batteries one way or another is to have proper load tests done at a golf cart shop. There's with a discharge machine. It's not a load tester. It's not the little single handheld load tester that is very common. It is a load tester, but it's a load tester specifically designed for golf carts, and it does the whole pack at once. And depending on the results of that test, they can give you a very accurate assessment of how good your battery pack is as a whole. Now, some people might not be comfortable with, doing the voltmeter stuff and the field testing like we talk about all the time. So a load test would be worth it to you, even if you have to pay for it. It's not going to cost very much. Depending on what they could come back and tell you, okay, your cart went 75 minutes on the load tester. What that means is that your batteries are about 25% or more down from their 100%, original status. So that kind of information can really help you out and give you peace of mind. And if your batteries are getting older, it might be worth it to have a proper load test done every year. That way you can see if your batteries are degrading in any way. I just think it would be worth it to some people. Not everybody's going to want to do that. A lot of people are just going to want to do it themselves and look at the voltages like I do. But some people might just rather have a golf cart shop do it and let them know how good their batteries are. It's a very accurate test. Let's see. Quan says we talked for a while. Yeah, I could talk to Quan all day long, I believe. Yeah, that meter on the EZGO, should I pay attention to it? How do you read it? My batteries seem to have a full charge. When I press on the accelerator pedal, it goes all the way to the red zone. Well, that's a red flag. No pun intended there. It goes all the way to the red zone. That's definitely a red flag, but I don't want you to pay attention to it. But that's just me personally. Now, other people they might want you to pay attention to it, but I would rather know the actual volts in the battery. But if it's going into the red zone when you push the pedal all the way down, I have a feeling that your volts are dropping. So I'd want to verify that by seeing your volts drop, the actual voltage, by putting a voltmeter across the battery pack and then pushing the pedal all the way down, and see if those volts don't go all the way down. That's causing that meter to go all the way down. So that's what I would like to know. Quan did share with me, I wasn't going to say anything unless he wanted me to, that his wife Missy, I'm sure everybody knows who Missy is, she's having some surgery done. So he's in the hospital, and Missy's surgery was a success. So everybody wish Missy a speedy recovery. That's David Trend Media, that's Quan, and his wife is Missy that comes into the chat all the time. Let's see, everything's cool over there. So I'm very happy, Quan, that Missy surgery was a success. May her have a speedy recovery. Let's see. Number 2. I'm having issues with my electric 99 Club Car. When I push the throttle, it sometimes hesitates and it will just stop, then go again after a while. I've checked the batteries and they test good. It leads me to think controller. How do I determine the throttle type on my cart? The ones I see say 5K to 0 or 0 to 5K. Well, in 99, you're going to have, if it's not an MCOR, there's going to be a V-Glide. Now, early 95 took a special V-Glide, but 99, if you have V-Glide, you just get a V-Glide that fits into that year. It'd be very easy to replace that if you think you need a problem there. The only one that's different is early 95, it took us a different V-Glide than the rest of them. So that's where I think you're getting the 5K to 0 and 0 to 5K. It's probably the early 95 was the opposite. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head, but the 95 was the only one that was a little different on the V-Glide. Number 3. I would like your support in knowing which jet main I must use for my Yamaha Golf Cart G29. I have problems with excess gasoline and it carbonizes the spark plug, and they recommended me put a smaller jet main. Which is the smaller or bigger jet main for that model? Thank you for your time. Now, that is something I definitely do not know off the top of my head, but I do know this. It's marked on the jet. the number is marked on the jet. So take out your jet main and look at the number, and then just get a smaller number than that. I don't know. It's probably in the service manual. It probably tells you what the, and see, there's another thing about that that could be different. Depending on what part of the country that golf cart was sold at, like with the dealership, it may have a different jet in it. It may have a different jet. If it was sold in Denver or something, golf carts there may come with different jets than golf carts that are sold in New Orleans or somewhere that's very low. So that's why I say you just, to be sure, look at the jet and just get a smaller number than whatever is on the jet. Let's see, Kirk says, Tim, I came across an ad for a LiPo 36-volt battery. Will this battery work with my '88 Club Car DS? What's your opinion? Oh yeah, it'll work. It would work. That's one of those, I call it a clash of technologies, but it will work. Like that's kind of like my G1 back here it's an '86 G1, so it's a 30-year-old golf cart, but it's got an LED light bar on the front. That's to me that's a clash of technologies, but it works great. So that would be the same thing as what you're talking about there, an '88 Club Car DS with a 36-volt lithium in it. Yeah. But that should work with no problem, as long as you get your charger right, get your correct charger for it. The lithium company, whatever lithium company you're talking about, they're gonna want you to use their charger. And since we're talking about a whole lot of money, I would do what they say, just in case there's a warranty issue. So because you don't want them to be able to refuse a warranty claim, by claiming that you shouldn't have used your charger. So you got to do whatever they say that they want you to do with the charger. Let's see, number 4. Gas cart will not start. How do you tell you have a bad igniter? Bad igniter, number 4. Well, you need to determine if you have spark in a gas cart. And the way to determine that is when you're trying to crank it, you have to understand, fuel is getting put to that spark plug. So you're trying to crank it for a while, and if you pull the plug out after you've tried to crank it for a few times and you look at the plug and the plug is wet, then you don't have spark. Because if you did have spark, that cart would have tried to crank, or it would have cranked. So if you got a wet plug, and that it's leaning toward the fact that you don't have any spark. So if you don't have spark, then you might look at your igniter. Kurt says they offer a free charger with it. Which set are you talking about, Kurt? Are you talking about the eco batteries that we sell? Because they come as a whole kit. Oh, no, I don't think that's the ones we sell for that price. I don't know. Which ones are you seeing that have that? I'd be interested to know. Number 5. '92 Club Car 36 volt. Changed the solenoid and new batteries. No forward or reverse. It's trying but not moving. I think I need a forward and reverse switch. What do you think? It's an ad on Facebook. I don't know, Kurt. I'd be careful about that. I'd want to see it somewhere else too. Like, you might want to do a little research, make sure it's legit. Get on the internet and just type in the company name, make sure that it's good. Okay, back to that question. That question was, do I think I need a forward and reverse switch? What do you think? Well, I can tell you this, on a '92 Club Car, it wouldn't be unusual at all for you to need a forward and reverse switch. Those mechanical forward and reverse switches, I've talked about them a lot, they pass amps every time you hit the gas pedal. In forward or reverse, there's all the amps in your systems goes through those copper contacts, and eventually they can get loose. They can not make good connection anymore, just like a battery cable getting loose on the top of a battery post. Those connections in those mechanical forward and reverse switches can get loose, and once they start doing that, they start getting hot. The copper starts degrading over time, and eventually they just get hot and they don't pass amps at all. So yes, it could be your forward and reverse switch, and you should be able to tell with a visual inspection. You might have, on a club car, you may have to remove it from the cart and look at the other side, because the other side is actually where the copper bus bars are located. You might have to take it off and look, and if you see any type of blue, green color, anything except for nice clean copper, then it's very likely that they have degraded and they could be causing you an issue. Let's see. Let me check Facebook. I haven't checked Facebook. Catherine says, get well Missy on Facebook. Number 6 is where we're at. I have an EZGO gas cart. Was told it is a 96, no plates to be found. It makes noise when driving, thinking it's the drive clutch. Trying to determine before I buy one if that is what it needs. Any help would be appreciated. Let's see. Well, I can tell you this. They both, the drive clutch and the driven clutch, they both can make noise. So it's not, it's not 100% certain that it's going to be the drive clutch, but you must have a reason for thinking that it is the drive clutch. I mean, what you can do, I don't know if this would be a recommended test or not. I mean, you have to understand, as a golf cart mechanic that I worked by myself, I worked alone for a lot of years, and a lot of ways that I went about figuring things out may not have been the recommended way to do so. But you could take the belt off, take the belt off and crank it, and see what that did to your noise. Because with the belt off, that means your driven clutch is not going to spin. And if you still have some kind of noise, if the noise is still similar, then you know it's in your drive clutch, because your driven clutch is not going to spin with the belt off. Your driven clutch is going to spin if you crank in neutral with the belt on. So that's one way to eliminate the driven clutch. Now, like I said, though, that may not be a recommended thing. That's just a Tim thing. That's what Tim may have done in his shop. Number 7 is where we're at. This is from Joe. Golf cart charger not charging batteries as it should. The wire that comes into the back of the charger port on the cart, I have to pull it out and push it back in to get the charger to come on. Do we need a new charging port to fix it, you think? I just put new batteries on the cart, but I was having the same problem before replacing the batteries. And I would say you found your issue. Yeah, you've narrowed it down, and that's good. It sounds like you need a new charging receptacle. If you're having to do something with the wire on the back side of the charging receptacle to get everything to connect right, then yeah, it sounds like you're going to need a new charging receptacle. Very common replaced parts on all different brands of golf carts. Very common. That would be good to put on a hat. What did I say that about the I might not always do it the recommended way? Is that what you're talking about, Travis? I might just do it the Tim way, or something like that. Yeah, if that's what you're talking about, yeah, I understand. You're probably right. Let's see, number 8. Yeah, do as I say, not as I do. That's basically what I said there. See, when I used to work for Club Car, I couldn't say things like that, but now I can say things like that. I can be honest. I can be completely honest now. Let's see, I have a 2001 Club Car, 48 volt with a run toe switch, 2001. Yesterday it ran fine. This morning I get no click when I turn the switch to run, put it in forward, and press the accelerator pedal. I used to get a pronounced click from the mid cart before. Is it the MCOR or a solenoid or something else? I have 51.3 on the bank of batteries. Well, it's going to be, if you're not getting a solenoid click and your cart does have a run toe switch, it's going to be the MCOR or the controller or a combination of both, because both of those are in the activation circuit for the solenoid. Now, it could also be just the solenoid itself. The solenoid itself could be just frozen open, you know, not closed, it's frozen open because you're not getting the click. So that's where I would want to check for battery pack voltage at the two small posts on the solenoid. So that way we can tell if you're getting the voltage to activate the solenoid. If you are getting the voltage to activate the solenoid and it's not clicking, then the solenoid's bad. And you replace the solenoid with a good one, and then you know it's going to click as soon as you activate it. So that's what I would do first. NV Nature Girl. Hey Tim, it's Lauren with 𝗪𝗂𝗲. Nice to see you. What's up, girl? I remember you. You and your husband. I think I talked to your husband about my internet stuff, and I haven't seen you in here in a while. And I'm on a Cat 7 line. I think he was the one that was that gave me some options that I should try, and I did try them. But right now I'm on the end of a Cat 7 line. So good. Thank you for being here. DMAX97 says, is it normal for a Club Car DS charger to buzz loud? Well, that's very common. So it is normal for the older transformer type chargers. As they get older, those plates, I don't know if you've ever looked inside of one of those chargers. Well, what they did when they were new, they coated that transformer with a really heavy binding coating agent and it's supposed to keep all those plates in place so they don't rattle, you know, and they're stuck to that. It's like a coating they put on there, similar to an epoxy coating or something that they spray those transformers with, and that's to keep them quiet. Well, over the years, that stuff breaks down a little bit. You know, it starts breaking down. Pieces fall off, chunks of it fall off, and that allows those plates to start rattling. So yes, I would say that is normal, especially for an older transformer type charger. Let's see, just checking on things. Let's see. Check obvious cables, MCOR control. Okay, number 9 is where we're at. We have a 2017 Club Car Carryall. NV Nature Girl, I am correct, right? Or am I getting you mixed up with somebody? Let me know if I'm correct. I'm constantly checking on my memory. Just check. I talk to a lot of people, so I like verification sometimes when I say stuff. We have 2017 Club Car Carryall 550 and recently removed the lead acid batteries and installed a lithium. The Carryall is riding higher, no surprise, but also riding rougher due to the reduced weight. Do the newer club cars with lighter batteries use different shocks? Do you have any recommendations? Thank you. This question is becoming more and more common. I still don't have a direct answer for it, but I do have an answer for your question about the shocks, and I've said it before. Golf cart shocks don't do very much at all. It's not going to be the shocks that are going to be your problem. It's going to be the springs. All the weight is supported. Those shocks aren't supporting any weight. They're not supporting any weight whatsoever on a golf cart. You could take them off and ride around and probably wouldn't even know they were gone. All your weight is supported by the leaf springs in the rear and in the front. She says, yes, you are always right, Tim. Question. How do I narrow down parasitic draw? Now, that's a good question. That is a good question. Remind me what kind of golf cart we're talking about, and I'm assuming that we're talking about an electric one, not a gas one. You're going to have to remind me of that. Let's see. Yeah, don't worry about your shocks because your car's riding rougher because you put in lithiums. Look at your springs. See if you can go down on your springs. What I mean by if you have heavy duty springs, you're going to have multiple leafs. Well, if so, maybe you want to switch back to standard springs because your car is so much lighter, you don't need heavy duty springs anymore. Now, I don't know anything softer than standard, but because of this lithium stuff, I feel like that there's going to have to be something softer. If not on the market yet, it's going to have to come down the road sometime because people are trying, they're experiencing your same issue. Oh, okay. Parasitic draw on a 72 volt gym car. Oh man, that would be hard to figure out. My first thought would be, well, my first question would be, since it's 72 volt, that means you've got 6 12s in there, all right? Because you have 6 12s, that means there's 2 possibilities that your lights are hooked to in that car. You're either running a voltage reducer, or your lights are connected to just one of your 12s. That would be my first question before I could come up with any type of theory, basically, because if you're running a voltage reducer, one of the things that I like to do when hooking up a voltage reducer, and it's one of those deals where it might not be recommended, it might just be the way Tim does it, which one of those kind of things, so don't do as I say, or do as I say, not as I do, one of those kind of things, is I like to put a separate on-off switch on the main wire, just so I can shut the voltage reducer completely off. All right, I always put a separate switch somewhere on one of the main wires of the input wires of the voltage reducer, so I can cut the voltage reducer completely off, and that way the lights wouldn't even work. The lights wouldn't even come on if I turned on the lights, just because I have that main cutoff. I understand it has built-in lights, but those lights are going to be 12-volt lights, and that's what I'm asking. Is it's either running off of one of your 12-volt batteries, or those lights are running off of a voltage reducer that's in your cart somewhere that is reducing 72 volts down all the way to 12 volts. That may be the case. I'm not sure on a gym car. I don't know if they're running a voltage reducer or if the light's just hooked to one of your 12s. If you don't have any extra wires hooked to any of your 12s, then there's a voltage reducer in there somewhere, because I don't know of any 72 volt lights, is what I'm saying. If there was 72 volt lights, it'd be very uncommon. From the factory, had that already. It's more like a car than a golf cart. I'm familiar with what they are. I've actually done some battery jobs on them before, but I don't remember if there was extra wires hooked to the batteries for lights. That's why I'm saying that I've done battery jobs on gym cars. It's a very difficult car to do a battery job on. Way more difficult than a regular golf cart, and it's the placement of those batteries. It makes it very difficult to do a battery job. Well, if you don't have any extra wires on your batteries except for your main power wires, like there's not any small wires going to any of your batteries, just your main power wires, positive, negative, then I'm betting that there's a voltage reducer on that golf cart somewhere. Correct me if I'm wrong, isn't the onboard charger like behind the dash on that cart? And there could be something else behind the dash. Nothing hooked to the batteries. I'm thinking that there's going to be a voltage reducer somewhere. And since it comes from the factory, it's probably just designed to run the lights, so it could be a very small item. It could be smaller than a controller. It could be, yeah, see, it might be one behind the dash. I don't know. It could be on there somewhere. Let's see. Easy Mike says, thought for those like Kirk thinking of buying lithium, he bought the big battery and I'm very happy with them, except for one thing. It was not mentioned that they were not waterproof. Well, I don't. That's a good point. That's a good point. Because like a good set of lead acid is not waterproof, but you could drive through a lot of water. What's going to happen with a good set of lead acid when if you drove through deep water, something else on your golf cart's going to go out before your batteries do. So if you got a problem with water on your lithium, that's a good point, Easy Mike. Let's see, I called and they told me that they sell waterproof boots for my Eagle batteries, and they seem to work, but wish I had known to start with that they were not waterproof. So big battery's not waterproof. I have to check on see what ours says. Our eco lineup. I'll have to see what they say about water. I'll check with the guys at the warehouse when I get off of this. When I get through with this episode. Ryan Smith, 2007 48 volt MOT. Did you mean just type motor? Envy Nature Girl, I will look. Thank you very much, Tim. Not a problem. Just I don't think they're 72 volt lights is my point, Envy Nature Girl. I think those lights are going to be 12 volt lights. So they're hooked to 12 volts somewhere. So that's what I'm getting at. Let's see. Ryan Smith says, found out it is a GE motor, comes with speed sensor, magnet, and seal. Can't find a video of them. What are we talking about there, Ryan Smith? Did I miss a question or two, something? I'm going back, I don't see. So you have a 2007 48 volt motor, GE, comes with speed sensor, magnet, and seal. Can't find a video on them. All right. Let's see here. How to change it out. Oh, well, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Changing the golf cart electric motor is not, it's very, very straightforward. It's not complicated. It's just, you got to be ready for the weight. You're not going to, if you've never picked one up before, you're going to be very surprised at the amount of weight that a electric golf cart motor actually has. So keeping that in mind, you might need to do some prior preparations before you actually remove it off of the shaft, because it's actually pushed onto a spline's input shaft. And once you take it off of the shaft, once you pull it out and the weight's not supported at all by that shaft anymore, that's when you have all the weight in your hands. So you might want to make precautions. Like some people would go through the trouble, not necessarily Tim, but some people would go through the trouble of actually removing the rear body from the golf cart, so you have direct access to the motor. I know that there's a little access panel there, but that little access panel might not be quite good enough for you to get your arms around that motor and to carry the weight. I've done it many ways. I've done it from the bottom of the cart. I've done it from the top of the cart. I've done it with the golf cart body removed, and I can promise you the easiest way to do it is with the golf cart body removed. That's the easiest way to do it. I've done it with a set of straps before, big thick straps I'd put around the motor, and that way when I slid it off, the straps caught the weight a little bit. I didn't have to catch it all. You got to come up with your own little system there if you're not ready for the weight, because they are pretty strong, pretty heavy. Let's see. Show the custom voltmeter and triad horn. Oh yeah. That's all right. Send me a photo if you want to. Send me a photo, Quan, of that, and I'll post it on here. Let's see. DMAX97. Is it true there's a small fuse resistor in the harness next to the speed controller on a Club Car DS that will make it not run? On a Club Car DS, there's a small fuse/resistor in the wiring harness next to the speed controller on a Club Car DS that will make it not run. I don't think so, D-Max. I don't think so. I don't believe so. I don't think that's true. I could be wrong, but I don't think that's true. Okay, last regular scheduled question is coming up right now. Oh, I have a 2005 electric Club Car Precedent, and it does not have any speed. I suspect it's the speed sensor. Can you help? Thank you. It very likely could be if you're talking about drastically reduced speed, like a foot on the floor and it's just barely crawling, then it could be the speed sensor. What you can do, This is a test that a lot of people do that I don't know if it's accurate all the time, but just get behind your cart and push it. Like, get behind your cart and push it on flat ground and try to push it fast. And if it just freewheels, then it's very likely that you do have a bad speed sensor. If it eventually starts beeping and starts electrically holding you back, then the speed sensor is most likely good. A lot of people use that as a guideline for a speed sensor test. Ryan Smith, sensor is on the side and no bolts. Pops off, but we're in the seal and the magnet located you have to take the motor off. Well, to take the motor off, you just take the 3 bolts out. There's going to be 3 bolts on the outside of the rim. Don't even worry about you don't have to take the sensor off. The sensor is going to unplug somewhere. You can unplug it somewhere and leave it on the end of your motor. You don't have to do anything to the end of your motor. In fact, you only have to take the bolts out they might be on the other side, and then the motor will slide off. But you're just going to unplug your sensor from the wiring harness somewhere. But you don't have to. You don't have to remove the sensor from the motor itself. Just follow the sensor wires to a plug and unplug it, and then take the bolts out, and then the motor will slide off. You're going to be like 3 bolts holding it on. All right. I will run the social media links one more time. Follow us on any platform you would like. If you do follow us on Facebook and YouTube, please like and subscribe. Well, there is a small fuse that comes out of the onboard computer, but it's not hidden. It's on the back side of the charging harness. It's on the back side of the charging harness. It's a 3/8 amp fuse. In that yellow fuse holder. That wire does go to the onboard computer. So if you're talking about that, yeah, there's a fuse there, but that will keep your car from charging. I don't think it'll keep it from running. I don't remember. Had a lightning strike at the golf course, and 15 of them took 15 onboard computers out because the lightning struck while many cars were charging at the time. And if that happens, it'll take out the onboard computer. Okay, I did the social media links. Now, yeah, I'm talking about the gray wire, D-Max. Well, Envy Nature Girl, thank you very much for that. Thank you for saying that. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Tim, for taking the time out of your day on Tuesdays and Thursdays and educating us and sharing your vast knowledge with all of us is much appreciated. Well, thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. That makes me feel really good when people say that. We love accolades here at Golf Cart Garage, and I'm no different. I do love accolades. That's what keeps me going, is when I feel like that I've helped somebody or I've done them a favor, which unintentional favor. I mean, I do this all the time. Get 5% off your orders at Golf Cart Garage. If you use coupon code TIM11, code expires on June 26th. Another good episode, Tim, from Greg Elliott. Hey, Greg, what's up, man? Good to have you. Oh, I don't know if you've noticed in the description, there's swag links now. You got links in the description that take you straight to the hats. You just pick the blue one, pick the one that says blue, it takes you to the blue hat. Take the one that says green, takes you to the green hat. Takes you straight to them. If you can't wait for the next giveaway, which by the way, I think it's going to be this Thursday. Not sure, but I think it's going to be this Thursday that we're going to give away another hat. I got to check some dates and make sure I'm not too soon or what, but I think it's going to be next episode. Like, in other words, day after tomorrow. So everybody come back if you want to get involved in that, because we will be doing it. But the swag links are in the description, and the scheduling link is in the description. If you want to schedule a GHOD call, which is Gearheads On Demand call with me, If you need to talk with me one-on-one about a golf cart issue, I'll be glad to do it. Just click the link in the description. It takes you to the scheduling page. Pick out a time slot that's available. I know my time slots are booked up. They're booked up way in advance. That's why we go live. That's why we come here every Tuesday and Thursday. We come here twice a week. So if you can't wait on my time slot, then come here, have your question ready, and we'll see what we can do. Not just myself, but other people in the room. Other people in the room may be able to help with your question also. So have your question ready and catch us here. Rock Dog, I am. I am wearing yours. This is the one Rock Dog got. This is the Hunter Green or Forest Green hat. That's the one that he won. He's the first winner, but we're going to have a second winner coming up. Gene Hanson, thumbs up to you, brother. Okay, we got Steve Bissett on Facebook before we get out of here. New 𝗫𝗏𝗔𝗔 440 amp controller, new solenoid, new speed sensor, continue to have no start. Any other ideas? Let's see, 440 amp controller, new solenoid, because that's recommended with the 𝗫𝗏𝗔𝗔 controller. They recommend you get a new solenoid. New speed sensor, continue to have no start. Okay, what kind of car are we talking about, Steve? What kind of golf cart are we talking about here? Obviously, it's an electric golf cart. Are we talking about a club car, a Yamaha, an EZGO? What are we talking about? Travis Lee, thumbs up. Thumbs up to you. Let me see if I can help Steve out. 2008 Club Car Precedent. All right, so you've got the 440 amp controller, you've got a new solenoid, a new speed sensor, continue to have no start in a 2008 Club Car Precedent. All right, well, one of the very common parts in a 2008 Club Car Precedent that can cause intermittent takeoff, intermittent go, or no start would be the MCOR. So my question would be, is your solenoid clicking? When you press the accelerator pedal with key on and in forward, does the solenoid click? And does the solenoid click every time you do that? That would be my first question, because we'd have to get that down first. If the solenoid clicks every time you hit the accelerator pedal, because it's supposed to. It's supposed to click every time you hit the accelerator pedal. If not, it could be the MCOR. You've already replaced the controller, so it's very unlikely that it is that. And that's a good controller too, by the way, the 440 amp 𝗫𝗏𝗔𝗔. Let's see here. Looks like we're good. Steve 48. I don't know if we're going to be able to hang around long enough for Steve to answer over here. William Rizzo, thanks for stopping in, William, from the Villages, Florida. I can only imagine how many golf carts are in the Villages, Florida. By the way, William, I don't know if you realize this, but I live in an area that's very similar to the Villages, Florida. Very similar, but on a much smaller scale. But it's a similar situation. Let me see. Not hearing solenoid click every time. Okay, well that's what I'm talking about, Steve. You could have an intermittent MCOR that is not activating the solenoid every time. Your golf cart has to run. The solenoid has to activate in order for your golf cart to run. So it could be that. Now, have I talked to you about this before, Steve? I don't know. I don't remember, but you realize Club Car could plug in with their computer into your diagnostic port on that car, and they could read your fault codes. Because every time that something has not been working on your cart, every time that you have that intermittent thing, it stores a fault code. And they could even look at your MCOR. They could look at any other fault codes that may be pointing toward another direction. They could do all this in less than 5 minutes with their little computer, with their little special computer that they plug into your diagnostic port. On a 2008 Precedent, you have a diagnostic port that they can plug into. So if you wanted to, get a more accurate assessment without guessing, and because I'm just kind of guessing, you've already replaced all this, and the only thing left I'm saying is going to be the MCOR. It's the only thing left in that circuit. But if you wanted to have a little more verification than just me saying that, then have them plug in their computer. And no service center close by, Charleston, West Virginia. Well, then if there's not a club car dealer then maybe call just a regular a regular golf cart shop and see if they have access to that computer. That would be what I would want to do if I was you, if I was in your shoes there. Let's see. Got over 100K carts in the Villages, Florida. 100,000 carts, man. And it's also 100 degrees in Georgia, where Quan's at. 100 degrees already. It's not that hot here, but we're good. We're hot, but we're not that warm yet. Let's see. Rock Dog says, something I just noticed on my RXB, the solenoid only clicks when I change directions. It doesn't click with the pedal press. Well, see that being an AC system, it could be a completely different animal. You know, it might not work like a regular golf cart. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Tell your wife she's doing a great job as a producer. Yeah, she does. She does help me. Oh, by the way, my mom's doing good too, everybody. I know I hadn't talked about that. Oh, Steve, you got a call with me on the 19th. Okay, cool. My my mom is walking with a cane. She's got her cane. She's back up being able to put weight on her knee. And she's actually driving. She's actually driving. She told me she can go to Walmart. She's actually been to Walmart, you know, and everything. So I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but she's doing great. She's consistently improving, and physical therapy says she's doing good. Just to let everybody know. Okay. Dino's good. He's good. He's fine. He got a new vet, by the way. He got a new vet, just to be sure for a second opinion. He's got a new vet now. It's a more convenient vet for our location, so you don't have to drive as far across town. So see, there's my mom. I didn't know she was watching, but she's in the chat. Yeah, she says, "Don't tell him I'm driving." Yeah, too late. I've already told him. See, I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Y'all see her? I didn't know she was in the chat room. Okay, Steve, I'll talk to you on the 19th. Yep, she's driving. She's definitely getting better, and I'm glad. All right, everybody. Well, I am going to get out of here. I think I've done everything there. Oh, no, tip. I'm not going to forget it, tip. Thank you, Kurt. You're not. It can be our little secret, Willa. Let's see. Well, the title of this episode was, I think my batteries are good. See, I get that a lot. You know, I get people that they say, oh, I think my batteries are fine. They look brand new. You know, a lot of people, they go by how their batteries look, and they to see if to form an opinion whether they think they're good or not. And so if you, like I was saying earlier, the tip is, if you are not comfortable with using a voltmeter, if you're not comfortable with doing some of the tests that I've talked about on several of these episodes, then it would be worth it to you to get a discharge test done at a golf cart shop. Get a proper discharge test. There's no question about the results of a discharge test. A discharge test can tell you exactly how good your battery pack is as a whole at the time of the test. That's what it can tell you. Exactly how good your battery pack is as a whole at the time of the test. You got to understand, 3 months down the road, 4 months down the road, 5 months down the road, it may change again. That's why I said it, for some people, it may be worth getting a proper discharge test done every year. So that way you have a good gauge on whether your battery pack is degrading or not. That's the tip for the day, or for the week. Let's see. Willa says, I'm proud of him. Well, thank you, Mom. Time for Tim's Tuesday tip. That's what I did. Yeah, Mom, I don't know if you realize it, but the David Tran Media, That's Missy's husband. I don't know if you saw it earlier, but Missy had some surgery and she's fine. She's recovering too. Okay, you must have seen it. Tell Missy to get well soon. Yep. Yeah, Dave Transmedia, that's Missy's husband. All right, I am going to get out of here, guys. I will see everybody on Thursday. And remember what I said, I think we're giving away some swag on Thursday. So everybody come back. We'll get entered in the random number generator and we'll see what we can do. We'll see y'all out. We'll see y'all Thursday. I'm out. Golf Cart Garage is now closed.